Many a wife has come to me saying, what am I supposed to do with my husband's crazy plan? I've heard of husbands who told their wives who have young children that we're going to sell everything we own, sell our house, we're going to get a sailboat and sail around the world for a year. And they're like, what are you talking about? Or maybe they have this dream to start this amazing business, and so he wants to quit his job and he's going to pour all of the 401k savings into the starting this new business, and you're like, oh my gosh. Because one thing I've learned is that women crave security, but I guess in God's sense of humor, he created most men to just be wired to crave adventure. They're warriors, they're bold adventure seekers, they're risk takers. Yeah, God has a sense of humor, doesn't he? So first of all, just realize that men are generally wired this way, but don't panic. What I want to do is share two different thoughts with you. First of all, if your husband is sharing something about a spiritual dream that he believes God has given him to do something that he believes God has told him to do that seems kind of risky to you, don't just immediately smash his dream as being foolish, because God often told people in the Bible to do things that seemed probably pretty crazy to their wives. I mean, think of Noah, for example. Can you imagine the day he came home and told his wife, I'm going to build an ark. Yeah, in the middle of town, and there's no rain, but I'm just going to build a big, humongous boat, and I'm going to put animals on it too, and we're going to live there. And yeah, she was probably thinking, you're nuts. Yeah, so be careful to not smash and squash and ridicule your husband's dreams. If he feels like he's hearing something from God, take that to God yourself and ask the Holy Spirit to give you peace if it's from God, and then come alongside your husband and support him. And if you really do have some concerns that this is not from the Lord, then simply ask your husband to maybe go to his pastor, some other godly men, and bounce this dream off of them. But the second thing I want to share is the more common scenario where a man just has a dream. Kind of a risky one to his wife, to do something like, sell everything, sail around the world, start a business, cash in his 401k, whatever it might be. And you're like, immediately most wives are just like pointing out all the flaws in this and crushing his hopes and dreams because we're panicked that he's going to do something crazy and foolish. That probably isn't the best approach, because if you want your husband to stay emotionally intimate with you, you can't be going around squashing his dreams and ridiculing and criticizing him and pointing out his flaws or his flawed thinking, according to you. I think of two key verses here. Ephesians 5:33 tells wives to respect their husbands. So respectfully interact with him about this dream and ask some just gentle but probing questions like, well, how do you think we would handle that financially? What is your plan? See how that's not ridiculing, it's just asking him to kind of think through his plan. So that would be the first step. But the other verse I want to share with you could be really key. If we could just walk this out, would be so much better. Colossians 3:12, it says, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves, in other words, put on compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. If we could just approach our husbands with those 5 attributes, compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience, and just talk through what their thought is, their dream, their adventure that they feel like they want to set the family on, if we could approach it with that posture, our husbands would be so much better to actually hear us. Couple thoughts that might help you if your husband has some crazy plans.